Donald Trump played this song at a rally to attack a political rival, not to honor veterans, not to celebrate the country, to win an argument about Ted Cruz's birth certificate. And nobody in that arena found that strange. Because for 30 years, every politician in America had been doing exactly the same thing. Reagan, Dole, Buchanan, Trump, different names. Same song, same mistake. Born in the USA is one of the angriest songs ever written about America. Springsteen wrote it as an act of rage, as testimony, as a list of grievances from a man his country had abandoned. And it became the country's favorite anthem. But here's the part nobody talks about. The misunderstanding didn't happen by accident. There is a reason the brain does this. A reason stadiums full of people heard triumph inside a cry for help. And once you understand that reason, you won't just hear this song differently. You will hear yourself differently. June 1984, America was in a Reagan summer. Economic optimism, Olympic fever, national confidence at its peak. Reagan's campaign saw it as a symbol of American optimism.
It rests in the message of hope in songs of a man so many young Americans admire, New Jersey's own Bruce Springsteen.
The president was mentioning my name in his speech the other day. I kind of got to wondering what his favorite album must have been. I don't think it was a Nebraska album. I don't think he's been listening to this one.
The song was everywhere. Sports arenas, television, political events. It became the unofficial soundtrack of a nation that wanted to feel good about itself. And almost nobody stopped to ask what it was actually saying. Because underneath that enormous sound was a completely different story. One that required silence to hear. And America was not in a mood for silence.
He was saying, wow, I wanted to meet you, and I couldn't believe that Springsteen wanted to meet me, and I told him that I hadn't heard his music, that much of his music, and he went out to a Tower Records and he bought all of his albums for me, and he left them next to the door of my hotel room. That's the truth. And he signed Darkness on the Edge of Town with the statement, if this album can affect you half as much as your book affected me, then I will have done my job.
Springsteen had been hearing stories from Vietnam veterans for years. Men who came back and felt invisible. Men who expected gratitude and found silence instead. Those stories stayed with him. And eventually, they found their way into the song. Come back home to the refinery. He never finishes the sentence. He doesn't need to. Because in real life, that sentence never got finished either. No job, no future, a brother still listed as missing somewhere into the jungle that no longer mattered to anyone. Suddenly, the song wasn't just about Vietnam anymore. It was about what happens when a country stops knowing what to do with the people it has to sacrifice for it. Here's why it gets uncomfortable. Because this isn't just about one song being misunderstood. The giant chorus overwhelmed everything. The album cover reinforced it. A man in jeans facing an American flag. The media reinforced it. The public reinforced it. And the myth became stronger than the song itself. Here's the thing about the human brain. It will often choose the version of a story that feels better than the truth sitting right in front of it. In 1984, America needed to believe its veterans hadn't been wasted. So he heard the chorus and it skipped the verses. Springsteen said it in black and white in his memoir. This song was never about pride. It was about pain, shame. The betrayal of a people America sent to fight, then refused to welcome home. He left no room for confusion, but somehow, people still found a way. So I want to ask you something, and I mean it seriously. Have you ever loved a song, really love it for years, and then found out it was saying something completely different than what you thought? Because the answer to that question says more about you than it does about the song. Springsteen himself had almost been sent to Vietnam. Years later, he said survivor's guilt never completely left him. September 1994, Donald Reagan is campaigning for re-election. At a rally in New Jersey, he mentioned Springsteen by name as a symbol of American hope, hard work, and values. The crowd erupts. Think about what just happened. The president used a song criticizing the system as proof that the system worked. The accusation had become the advertisement. Springsteen responded 2 nights later, not with anger, with distance. He talked about holding politicians accountable, then played Johnny 99, a song about a desperate unemployed man driven to violence.
Got a gunshot a night clerk, now they call him Johnny 99.
He didn't play Born in the U.S.A, and he kept refusing that role for decades. Bob Dole tried it. Pat Buchanan tried it. Donald Trump used it multiple times. Different names, same misunderstanding. Same song saying the same thing every single time. The system doesn't just ignore people. Sometimes it takes their pain and turns it into a slogan. Go back and listen to it. Same drum, same chorus, same 4 syllables. But now you know who's shouting. Not a crowd waving flags. One man. Broke, forgotten, standing in front of a closed door. And here's the cruelest detail. The misunderstanding itself became proof of the song's point. The veteran inside those lyrics was ignored, just like real veterans were ignored. The message disappeared beneath the spectacle. The song accidentally proved exactly what it was warning about. A country so in love with its own image that it couldn't hear the people being destroyed by it. That's what makes this song different from almost anything else written in that era. It didn't just describe the problem. It became the problem. Watching America from France, I think I envy this song. I wish you had something that powerful. So here's the truth. Born in the USA was never a patriotic anthem. It was testimony. From a man who had nothing left to lose by telling it. Reagan had pride. Stadiums heard victory. Politicians heard a campaign tool. The man inside the song heard what he'd always heard. Nothing. The truth was always in the verses. In the silence right after the chorus if you stop long enough to actually listen. Most people never stopped. For 40 years, this song told the truth about America. And America just kept turning up the volume. That's all for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, stay curious. Au revoir.